Hey, welcome to practice. Thank you for joining. So in today's class, I'm going to guide you through a flow that opens through the hips and works into the side body. So we'll start in child's pose. Knees out wide, toes touching, extending the arms along the mat, letting the head rest on the mat or on a book or a brick. And start to notice the connection with the mat. Noticing your hands, your head, your shins, your feet. Letting the hips sink onto the heels. Check in with your body. Are there any tight places? Any aches? Is it feeling heavy? You feeling light? Maybe nothing at all. And start to notice your breath. And start to deepen the breath, drawing it down to the base of the spine. Vertebra by vertebra. On the inhale. And then on the exhale. Releasing, maybe even sighing. Letting go of the stories and the thoughts you're here right now. Inhaling, taking another big deep breath. All the way to the base of the spine. Pausing at the bottom. Before exhaling, again even sighing. Inhaling. And noticing the belly swell, the chest widen. All the way up to the tops of the collarbones. Pausing at the top. Exhaling from top to bottom. Inhaling. Filling the belly, the ribs, noticing the breath move through the back body. Puffing up through the back of the ribs. The shoulders. Up to the tops of the collarbones. Pausing at the top. For exhaling. From top to bottom. Keeping these lovely slow deep breaths, letting it be the metronome for your practice. If you come up onto your fingertips, so tenting the fingers and gently pressing into the hands, creating that space through the hips, breathing into it. And slowly start to walk the hands up the mat. And bring the hands to prayer at heart space. Setting an intention for the practice. A word, phrase, something you can easily return to. Perhaps even take through your day. For one, as we're working on hips, is let go. Inhaling, interlacing the hands behind the back, opening up through the chest. Exhaling, releasing, interlacing them, palms facing forward, tucking in the chin, rounding through the shoulders. Inhaling, interlacing the hands, opening up. Exhaling, tucking, rounding. Releasing the hands, start to walk them along the mat, coming back into child's pose. Inhaling, start to snake the body along the mat as though you're rolling a marble along with your chin or your nose. Sliding through, lifting up into baby cobra. Pressing into the toenails, opening up through the chest. Exhale to lower. Pushing back through into child's pose. Sweeping the hands behind, tenting the fingers behind the hips as we lift up through the hips, opening up through the chest. Exhaling. Extending forward into child's pose. Again, snaking the body along. Coming up into baby cobra. And lower. Pushing back through into child's pose. Coming up to seated, tenting the fingers behind you, lifting up through the chest, the hips. Exhaling, lowering back down, extending forward. Snaking along the mat. Coming back into baby cobra. And lower. Pushing back through into child's pose. Coming up to seated. Tenting the fingers behind, opening up. Lovely, exhaling, lowering back down. Extending the hands out, this time coming to our 4-point base. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, making sure the hands are spread out wide and pressing into the knuckle beds. Kickstanding the left foot out to the left, pressing into the left hand. Coming onto the inner edge of the right foot, we extend the right arm up, coming into gate pose. And think about tucking in your left hip, stacking the hips and stacking the shoulders. And there's a lightness through the top body, maybe even tenting the fingers here. Essentially, this is Trikonasana, but you're on your knee, not your foot. So be breathing into it, expanding into it. Sweeping the right arm across the right cheek, pressing into the right foot, feeling that strong line of energy from heel through to hand. On your next inhale, extending the right foot up, foot is flexed, leg is active, as we come into supported half moon. Hips are stacked, shoulders stacked. One more breath. Lovely. Placing right hand back on the mat, bringing the right knee down, coming back to our 4-point base. And we'll do that on the other side. Kickstanding the right foot out, grounding into the right hand, coming onto the inner edge of the left foot, extending the left arm up. Tucking in your right hip bone, stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders, light through the top body, maybe even tenting the fingers here. About engaging in the side body, lifting, reaching. Sweeping the left hand across the left cheek, pressing into the left foot, switching on the whole left side body. Inhaling, lifting the left leg, foot is active, foot is flexed. Coming into our supported half moon. One more breath. Coming back to our 4-point base, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Tucking the toes, hovering the knees. Engaging in the core, lifting up through the pelvic floor, tucking the belly button in under the ribcage, slight dome through the shoulders. Remembering to breathe. Now next inhale, lifting up through the hips, lowering down through the heels, coming into our first downward facing dog. You may want to pedal the dog out here, keeping the knees soft. And as you pedal out the dog, start to bring the feet out, mat width. Noticing the space it creates in the hips and breathing into it. Letting the head be heavy and the neck long. Inhale, right leg. Stepping right foot outside right hand, grounding down through left knee. Inhaling, lifting up through the right arm, coming into an easy twist. Option to sweep the arm around, taking a hold of the hip crease, or bending the left knee, taking a hold of the foot. Lovely, releasing the foot, bringing the hands back inside, stepping back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift left leg. Stepping left foot outside left hand, grounding down through right knee. Inhale through, lifting up through left arm. And you can sweep the left arm around, taking a hold of the hip crease, or bending the right knee, catching a hold of the foot. Lovely, releasing, bringing both hands inside the left foot, stepping the right foot up to meet the left, coming into a squat. Now, depending on what your hips are like today, you can come into a squat like this, or lower down, pressing the arms into the thighs back into the arms, opening up through the chest, hands in prayer at heart space. From here, you can just rock gently, feeling that release through the hips. Pressing through the feet, interlacing the hands, palms facing out, start to come up to standing, moving up, reaching up, lifting up, reaching up towards the ceiling. Releasing the hands, sweeping them down by your side, bringing them to prayer at heart space, bringing the feet hip width apart, returning to your breath, returning to your intention. Now we'll move through some sun salutations. So inhale, lift the arms up. Exhaling to forward fold. Halfway lift and lower. Stepping back with right leg, lowering down through right knee, lifting up, Anjaneyasana. Exhaling, framing the front foot, stepping into plank. Lowering down through the knees, body, one strong line of energy. Hovering before lowering all the way to the ground. Lifting up, baby cobra, and lower. Pushing back up and through, or fours, into downward facing dog. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, lift right leg, stepping right foot between the hands, lowering down through the left knee. Inhale, lifting up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale to frame the front foot, stepping left foot up to meet right in a forward fold. Halfway lift and lower. Inhale, sweeping, lifting up. Exhaling, forward fold. Halfway lift, lower. Step back with left leg, lowering down through left knee. Inhale, lifting up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale to frame the front foot, stepping back into plank. Lowering down through your knees, body one strong line of energy all the way to the ground. Inhaling, lifting baby cobra, and lower, pushing back through either all fours or plank if you're feeling strong. Coming into downward facing dog. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, lift up left foot, stepping left foot between the hands, lower down through right knee. Inhale, lift up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale to frame the front foot, stepping right foot up to meet left in a forward fold. Halfway lift and lower. Inhaling, reaching, lifting up. Exhaling, hands to prayer at heart space. Returning to your breath. Returning to your intention. Bending the knees, sinking down into the hips, coming into Utkatasana. Whether your feet are hip width or legs together, think about inwardly rotating the thighs, tucking down through the sit bone, lifting up, throwing the arms, lifting the arms up as though you're throwing a ball behind you. Inhale, lift right leg, extending the right leg forward, maybe resting on the heel or hovering it, remembering to breathe. Placing right foot back, exhale, we lower, lifting up through the hips. halfway lift and lower. Inhale, sweeping, lifting up. Exhaling, coming back into Utkatasana, bending the knees, sinking down into the hips. Grounding down through right foot, extending the left foot forward, either hovering the heel or just gently resting the heel. Feeling that engagement in the right glute. Lovely, bringing the left foot back, we forward fold, halfway lift, lower, inhaling, sweeping, lifting up, exhaling, bending the knees, sinking back down into the hips, coming back into Utkatasana. Bringing the hands through to prayer at heart space, rotating to the right, hooking left elbow outside right thigh. Grounding down through this right foot, we're going to kickstand the left foot up, coming into stalk. From here, start to extend the leg away, so you're pushing something with your foot. Hovering before landing, coming into evolved high lunge. Embracing the wobbles. Me, nearly fell over. You have the option to open the arms out like wings. Lovely, bringing the hands back through to prayer at heart space, coming back through to center, grounding down through left foot, straightening through the front right foot as we bring the arms parallel, coming in, setting up for Trikonasana. Reaching forward with the right hand, bringing the right hand inside the right shin, lifting up through the left arm. And as we did at the beginning of practice, think about tucking the right hip in, stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders. Imagine my hand was between your shoulder blades and leaning into it. Inhaling, coming back through to center, extending back up to reverse Trikonasana. Exhaling, cartwheeling the hands over to frame the front right foot, sweeping the right leg up, coming into a three-legged dog. You can come through a three-legged vinyasa, a regular vinyasa, rolling forward, chaturanga, up dog, lifting back up and through into downward facing dog. Inhaling, exhaling. One more big deep breath. Softening the knees, gaze forward, either step or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift and lower. Inhale, sweeping, lifting up. Bending the knees, sinking down into the hips, coming back into Utkatasana. Bringing the hands through to prayer at heart space, rotating to the left, hooking the right elbow outside the left thigh. Grounding down through the left foot, kickstanding the right foot. Extend the leg away so you're pushing something with your foot, hovering, before coming to land in evolved high lunge. Option to open the arms out like wings. Bring the hands back to prayer, back through to heart space. Grounding down through the right heel, standing up tall, straight through both legs. Arms parallel as we set up for Trikonasana. Reaching forward with the left hand, bringing the left hand inside the left shin. Think about tucking in the left hip bone, stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders. Taking up space. Lovely, inhaling, coming back up to standing, and we reverse Trikonasana, extending up through the left arm. Cartwheeling the hands to frame the front foot. Sweeping the left leg back up, coming into a three-legged vinyasa or a regular vinyasa, chaturanga, up dog, lifting back up and through into downward facing dog. Softening the knees, gaze forward, either step or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift and lower. Inhale, sweeping, lifting up. Exhaling, hands to prayer at heart space. Returning to your breath. Returning to your intention. Now we'll move through that flow, okay, with some variations this time. Bending the knees, sinking down into the hips, coming back into Utkatasana. Grounding down through the right foot, extending the left foot forward, hover the heel, and then push up to standing. This time tipping the weight forward, sweeping the right leg back, hands through to prayer at heart space. We glide into warrior 3, and then step back, grounding down through left heel, opening out into warrior 2. Making sure that the knee is over the ankle and outwardly rotated. You want to feel as though you're tearing the mat apart with both feet. So really grounding through the outer edge of the right heel. Inhale, reaching forward with the left hand, rotating the palm upwards as we lift up to reverse the warrior. Front knee is bent. Exhaling, sweeping left arm inside left thigh, extending the right arm up, coming into extended side angle. Stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders, a lightness through the top body, maybe even hovering that left arm. Inhaling, coming back through center, straightening through the front leg, maybe even shuffling the left foot forward as we come back into Trikonasana, reaching forward with the left arm, left hand inside left shin. Placing right hand on your hip. As we come into half moon, think about transferring the weight into the front leg, engaging in the right glute. Foot is flexed, and if you have a brick or a block, helps bring the floor closer to you. Or you can aim with your hand lifting, reaching up. Stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders. Bringing both hands onto the mat, squaring off the shoulders, squaring off the hips. Coming into standing splits. You want to feel as though your right leg's being pulled away. On the exhale, we're going to soften through the left knee, tucking the right knee in, coming into our Shiva squat. Inhale, lifting, reaching up. Exhaling, bringing right foot to meet left in a forward fold. Inhale, slowly rolling up vertebra by vertebra, drawing the shoulders up towards the ears, sliding them down the back. Hands in prayer at heart space. Returning to your breath, your intention. Bending the knees, sinking down into the hips, coming back into Utkatasana. Grounding down through the right foot, lifting the left foot up before extending it forward, coming onto the heel, maybe hovering the foot. Inhale, straightening through the right leg, tipping the weight forward, swinging the leg back. Your body's like a pendulum. Hands in prayer at heart space as we glide through warrior 3. We're lowering down, grounding down through the left heel, cartwheeling the arms open, coming into warrior 2 on the other side. Knee in line with ankle, outwardly rotated. Think about grounding down through the left heel, the outer edge of the left foot. Rotating the right palm upwards, reaching forward, we reverse the warrior. Front knees bent, feeling that beautiful stretch through the whole right side body. Bringing right arm inside right thigh, extending, lifting the left arm up. Sweeping it across the left cheek, coming into extended side angle. Getting that lovely line of energy from the heel to the hand as you press the foot into the mat. And there's a lightness through the top body, maybe even hovering the arm away. Inhaling, coming back up to standing, straightening through the front leg. And maybe here you want to step the back foot in slightly as we set up for Trikonasana. Reaching forward with the right hand inside right shin, extending up, lifting up. Bringing left hand on hip, transferring the weight into the front leg and engaging in this left glute as we lift up into half moon. That's stacking the hips. Left foot is flexed, the leg is active, stacking the shoulders. Bringing the left hand onto the mat, squaring off the shoulders, squaring off the hips as we come into standing splits. You're going to feel as though that left leg is being pulled away from you. On the exhale, bending the right knee, tucking the left knee and coming to a Shiva squat. Inhaling, lifting, reaching up. This time stepping the left foot back. And lifting up through the right leg, coming into our three-legged dog. Option to go through a three-legged vinyasa, regular vinyasa, stand down dog, or coming to child's pose. Rippling forward into plank, chaturanga, up dog. Lifting back up and through into downward facing dog. Taking a big deep inhale, exhaling with a sigh, letting go. Inhale, lift right leg, stepping right foot behind right hand, grounding down through left heel, we lift up into warrior one. Interlacing the hands behind the back, opening up through the chest, tipping forward to humble the warrior. Think about drawing that right hip in, letting the head be heavy and the neck long, releasing through the shoulders. Releasing the hands, extending them out diagonally off the mat. So we're coming into like a warrior one, legs downward facing dog, arms, but not right out in front of you, or following the line of your body. Using the hips as a guide here. Just pressing in, feeling that opening through the right hip as you draw it in, but then just gently ease it open. Lovely work walking the hands back around in front of the right foot, pivoting onto the ball of the back foot as we sweep the right leg up. Option to come through a three-legged vinyasa, a regular vinyasa, or stand downward facing dog or come to child's pose. Looking forward, chaturanga, up dog. Lifting back up and through into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift left leg. Stepping left foot behind left hand, grounding down through right heel, we lift up into warrior one. Interlacing the hands behind the back. The non-habitual way this time, lift up through the chest. Exhaling, tipping forward to humble the warrior. Legs are strong, drawing the left hip in. Head is heavy, neck is long. Release through the shoulders. One more big deep breath. Releasing the hands, extending them out in front of you, following the line of your hip rather than where the mat is. So you're going to be slightly off center to the mat. Gently pressing into the hands, creating space through the hips. So we've got downward facing dog arms with warrior two, one rather legs. Lovely, walking the hands around in front of the left foot as we sweep the left leg up, coming through our three-legged vinyasa, our regular vinyasa, or downward facing dog, or child's pose. Your vinyasa and rippling forward into plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Inhale, lift right leg, bringing right knee to nose, drawing the weight forward. Inhaling, lifting, reaching back up. Exhaling, right knee, right tricep. Inhaling, lifting, reaching back up. Exhaling, right knee, left tricep. Extending the right leg out to the left, coming onto the outer edge of the foot, coming onto the inner edge of the left foot, extending the left arm up. Bringing the left hand back down onto the mat, sweeping the right leg back up and through, bending the knees, stacking the hip, coming into your three-legged dog. And then exhaling, bringing right knee behind right wrist, shin along the mat. As we sit down through the right hip, we're going to come into pigeon a different way today. So bringing the leg to a real 90-degree angle here, foot is flexed. And the back knee, the left knee can be quite bent here, again at a 90-degree angle. And then bring the right hand in front of the right knee, the left hand in front of the right ankle. Squaring off the shoulders, and maybe that's enough of a opening through the hip. It's probably a little bit higher than a traditional usual way of coming into pigeon. And if you want to go further, you can tuck the toes of the back foot, squaring off the hips. Walk the hands along the mat. And you're always welcome to slide the shin back down, coming into a more regular pigeon rather than such an open version. But just have a play with it. Notice how it feels similar yet different. Working slightly different muscle groups through the hips. And wherever you are, letting the head be heavy and the neck long. Breathing into the right hip. One more big deep breath. And exhale with a sigh. Start to walk the hands back up, tucking the toes. Bring the right leg up to meet the left coming back into our downward facing dog. Now the option here to go through a vinyasa or stay in downward facing dog. We'll come to child's pose. Rippling forward into plank. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog, just depending how energetic you're feeling. Tucking the toes and lifting up through the hips. We all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift left leg. Bringing left knee to nose. Inhaling, lifting, reaching up. Exhaling, left knee, left tricep. Inhaling, lifting, reaching back up. Left knee, right tricep. Extending the leg, coming onto the outer edge of the left foot, grounding down through the inner edge of the right, extending the right arm up, coming into fallen star. Lovely, bringing right hand back down onto the mat, sweeping the left leg up, bending the knee and stacking the hip, coming into three-legged dog. And then bringing the left knee behind the left wrist, shin along the mat, coming to our left sit bone again. So again, coming into the pose, having the shin quite parallel to the short edge of the mat, foot is flexed, a real 90-degree angle here with the leg. Left hand in front of the knee, right hand in front of the ankle. And square off the shoulders, starting to notice that stretch through the top of the hip, rather than the glute side, it's sort of the top and that little bone. And from here, you can tuck the toes of the right foot, squaring off the hips. And start to walk the torso down. And if you want to, you can slide the shin back, coming into the more traditional version of pigeon, or you can stay here and have a play with the more open version, which is, this version is kinder on the knees. So if you ever get a tweak in your knee when you're doing pigeon, I would recommend going with this option. You don't get down, well, I certainly don't get down as far with the body, but it's still the same stretch. Breathing into the left hip. One more big deep breath. Inhaling. Exhaling with a sigh. Keep going. Start to walk the torso up. Start coming onto the left sit bone as we sweep the right leg around. We have the left foot, the sole of the foot inside the right leg. Right foot is flexed. Inhale, so you lift up the arms. Exhale, tipping forward from the hips, coming into Janu Shasana. So you can let the hands land where they need to land. If you can catch a hold of the foot or the ankle, great. I quite like just having the hands framing the front leg, letting the head be heavy and the neck long. Inhaling back up to seated, placing the left hand by the left hip as we press into the right foot and the left shin, lifting up through the hips. Exhaling, lowering back down, rotating to the right. We'll do that again, sweeping the left hand back, lifting up. Exhaling, rotating to the right. Lovely work. Coming back through the center, swapping legs. So left leg is extended, left foot is flexed. sole of the right foot, inside left thigh. Inhale, lifting up, exhaling to tip forward. Then holding the foot or letting the hands rest by the leg, palms facing up. And just letting the head be heavy, not reaching or grabbing for anything. Feeling that stretch through the leg, the lower back. Inhaling, coming back up to seated, right hand at base of spine, pressing into the left foot and the right shin as we lift up. Exhaling, sweeping around, rotating to the left. Again, we'll do that again. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, rotating back around. Beautiful, extending both legs forward. Slowly roll down vertebra by vertebra. Maybe we're coming into bridge, or you can do supported bridge. So if you've got a brick or a block, rolling down. Coming into a semi-supine position, so feet flat on the mat. Heels behind hips. Arms by sides, palms facing down. Pressing into the feet, drawing the inner thighs in. We inhale on the exhale, lifting up through the hips. Slowly moving up vertebra by vertebra. From here, you can roll onto the shoulder heads, interlacing the hands. Or if you've got a brick, taking the brick and placing it either on the second height or the highest height on the sacrum, coming into supported bridge. Wherever you are, slowing the breath. Really noticing the belly swell on the inhale and fall on the exhale. If you're in bridge, inhaling, lifting up to the balls of the feet, releasing the hands, releasing the shoulders, and then slowly rolling down vertebra by vertebra, heels to come down last, and being there for that moment where the base of the spine connects with the mat. Letting the knees fall over to the right, cactusing the arms or extending them out wide. And you can place the right foot on top of the left thigh, gazing over at the left hand. Keeping the breath slow and deep. The deeper we breathe in a twist, the greater the benefit. Releasing the foot if you had it, and then bringing the knees back to center, letting them tip over to the left. You can hook the left foot on top of the right thigh, gazing over at the right hand. Shoulders are heavy, head is heavy. One more big deep breath. Releasing the foot, bringing the knees back to center. And you have a couple of options here. You can come into happy baby, bending the knees, catching hold of the outer edge of the big toe with the yogi peace grip, or you can come into plow. Whatever works for your hips. If you're coming into plow, supporting the sacrum, with the thumbs on the outside, fingers on the inside, letting the feet tip over. And don't take your hands away unless your feet are touching. Wherever you are, letting the breath be slow and deep. When you're ready, either rolling out vertebra by vertebra or releasing the feet. Legs long on the mat, feet out wide, legs are heavy. Arms out wide, palms facing up. Slide the shoulders down the back, neck is long, head is heavy. Closing down the eyes and lightly turning up the corners of the mouth. Keeping the breath slow and deep. Turning it into a whisper. With every exhale, could you sink a little deeper, melting into the mat, letting the energy settle. And even though I'm quiet, know that I'm holding space for you and will let you know when it's time to return. Now you're more than welcome to stay, but if you're ready to return, return to the body with breath, deepening the inhales and the exhales. Draw the arms overhead, interlacing the hands, giving yourself a lovely long big stretch. Fingertip to toe. And then come to lie on your favourite side. Using your arm as a pillow, drawing your knees up to your chest. And the eyes closed or the gaze low, come into a comfortable seated position with your hands in prayer at heart space. Returning to your intention. And taking that intention to your third eye for clarity, your throat for truth and love, and your heart for compassion, especially towards yourself. Bowing forward, thanking yourself for giving yourself this time. Namaste.